Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, and I'm here with my brother. As we return to Tropical Merfolk, Mono Blue learns some stuff about Tropical Merfolk, and Tropical Merfolk is going to learn some stuff about Mono Blue. You know, there's a little bit of inconsistency in the Merfolk community, but I'll tell you what's not inconsistent. Our sponsor, the manabase.com, if you need to learn the top three things you need to know in Limited. Go check out Limited Time Only by Spencer Howland on themanabase.com. And don't forget, we've got new patrons. Of course, the patron wave keeps growing stronger, growing larger. Many people, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Nikachu MTG is super big. Pretty contributions and support are really high for the subscriber count of like less than 4,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to our new patrons, Joshua Schindler, Julian Dolder, Jesse Cunningham, this guy, and Sam Hurst. Thank you so much for being my new supporters on Patreon. So we're going back to Tropical Merfolk, and I mean we have to deal with Blood Moon. Well, let's be clear about this. Tropical Merfolk was amazing. I mean, that wasn't a fluke, the way that we tore up the metagame. We had the right tools at the right time against the right decks. But we have to adjust Merfolk as the metagame adjusts. And do you know what? We didn't. We had old lists. Things started moving super heavy towards Blood Moon. I mean, the humans decks and Abzan and Death Shadow, they don't like Blood Moon. Blood Moon's on, Blood Moon is big right now. They're pushing it in Ponza. They're pushing it in Breach Moon, like the blue-red Blood Moon deck. So Blood Moon is on the rise because decks weak to Blood Moon are on the rise. And yeah, we need a plan for it. If we don't have a plan, we're going to get killed. So this is the plan. This is what we're doing here. We've got. I want to make sure, like I'm not 100% certain, but I really want to remove the creatures from the deck, at least 6 of them, and be able to side in cards that would be relevant against either deck. So against the Breach Moon deck, which is like a Snapcaster Mage deck, we can bring in Relic of Progenitus, we can bring in the Negates, and against the Ponza deck, we can kill their Mana Dorks with Gutshot, and we can counter a lot of their spells with Negate. Things like Anger the Gods and their land destruction spells. We're going to deal with them with Negate. I think we've got the tools. So what are the other things that I'm thinking about? So I'm going to play with 20 lands. I think that might help. I'm going to be playing with 4 islands, and I'm going to play with as many fetch lands as possible so that we can fetch out islands against the Blood Moon decks. So we've got like 2 Flooded Strand here, 1 Misty Rainforest, and 1 Polluted Delta. One of these should probably be a Scalding Tarn. I don't think I have a Scalding Tarn in my inventory. We only need 1 Breeding Pool. I don't think we need more than one of those. And we have 4 Botanical Sanctum. And according to Frank Karsten, if you want to have the limit, the number of cards that you need to like lands that you need to cast something on turn 2. So like, let's take our green sources. The minimum that you need in your deck to cast something on turn 2 would be, I believe it was 13. So we've got 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But we're also playing with Aether Vial, which should also be considered a source of mana. So I think this mana base should be able to hold up against, should be able to support our light green splash, our nice aggro starts and stuff like that. So that's what I want to do with the mana base. I don't feel like we need a whole lot of breeding pools. And I would like to go as shockless as possible. People are concerned about burn. Well, do you know what? We've got some spell pierces in the main, and we've also got some negates in the sideboard. So we're gonna be ready against burn. And we're playing with as many lands that don't deal damage to us as possible. So we've only got the 1 shock and 4 fetches, and we're gonna have the islands to search those things out. I was debating between 2 and 3 Spell Pierce, but you know what? I want to make some room for Water Trap Weaver. We're gonna play with 3 of these. They look okay right now. Looks like something we want against humans or even the mirror match. I mean, it's great against Death Shadow, great against Eldrazi Tron, great against a lot of decks. Water Trap Weaver. That's where we want to be. We want to be with Water Trap. That's what's showing up in a lot of blue lists. A lot of mono blue players love this card, and I believe it. And we got to try it. I would imagine that it's better in this deck. It's just going to be better. That we are more of a I don't want to say but we are a little bit more aggressive, so we can take advantage of these creature tempo plays in this build. I think better than in the mono blue build. And what are we doing here in the sideboard? We got 4 Gut Shot. I think this is going to be applicable against humans. I think it's applicable against any Mana Dork deck. You know, any of the Coco decks, whether it be Elves or whether it be Counters Company. Affinity is really big still. It's a playable card to bring in against other Merfolk decks. Gut Shot, I think it's a wonderful card. That's where we're going to be. We're going to still play with Ceremonious Rejection. I could bring it in against Affinity. I don't know if I'm going to have the room. But most importantly, it's still good against Tron. Tron is still out there. Eldrazi Tron is still out there. We hate those decks. We're going to bring in Ceremonious Rejection. It's a wonderful card. And Negate is just a catch-all card against everything. It doesn't counter Primeval Titan, but you know what? Let's hope that we can race that card anyway. And otherwise, this is what we're going to need against Burn. Like, we need to still compete with Burn. And something like... I'm not playing with Dispel. So if I'm not playing with Dispel, we need some way to compensate against Death Shadow decks, against Burn. We need a hard counter. Negate is going to be a hard counter. And of course, Relic of Progenitus still being the bane of all the graveyard decks' lives. Dredge, we're bringing in Relic of Progenitus. Black-Green X decks, we're bringing in Relic of Progenitus. Death Shadow, you better believe we're bringing in Relic of Progenitus. So that's our deck, and I hope that, Harbinger, a combination of Water Trap Weaver, is going to be great against all the creature decks, and I'm hoping that our sideboard is going to deal with everything else. So that is Tropical Merfolk. Let's see if it can still handle the pressure of the metagame of today.
MTG to go.
MTG to go. I interpreted actually MTG Togo, not knowing what Togo's nothing.
Soon enough, your local card shop will have a drive-through.
That's right.
MTG to go.
I'd like an order of a fat pack and 2 boosters, please, and a side of sleeves.
Would you like fries with that?
Oh, you said you want sleeves with that. You want sleeves with that? Would you like a binder? Oh, this hand is gas. Oh, you better believe this hand is great. We're on the draw. Oh, and we're up against the Blood Moon deck. All right, let's see what happens. We got an excellent turn 2 play.
You can, of course, fast forward about 15 minutes from now to see what happens.
Good. So we're going to get our one of breeding pool.
You don't have to wait. You can just keep going.
I'm sure it's a general custom of just fast forwarding to the end. What's going on in this video? Oh, he wins? All right, we're going to watch it a little bit. Stone Rain. So we're Stone Rained out, but we're done with the... Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to play Flooded Strand, and we are fetching for an island. You better believe we're fetching for an island. This actually would be totally one-sided if we went first, because we'd be able to Spreading Seas this Utopia Sprawl. So that's the idea against these Blood Moon decks. Fetch out your islands so that we're not going to be so crippled by Blood Moon and stuff like that. Here comes Chandra. It's going to eat up our creature. It's going to eat up our creature. We have a lot of options here. I don't really want the Chandra gaining value. Not only that, the double red is a big deal. So next turn, if they need mana, they could just shoot. They can just gain the double red. I want to Spreading Seas this forest because Utopia Sprawl needs to be enchanted on a forest. If it's not enchanted on a forest, it will fall off. So if we turn this forest into an island, it's basically like a removal spell. You like destroy the Utopia Sprawl. So long as this thing is enchanted, it adds 2 mana. But I don't think we're really crippling them on mana because of Chandra. So let's get our... I sort of want to get Silvergill in play so I can get a 3-drop, and then maybe we can empty our hand. So let's go for the mana route. I know we have a lot of lords here, but the mana could be useful. We've got a Spreading Seas.
Good.
Let's see if this is as bad as the community says it is. This game would be totally different, though, if we went first. We would play turn 1 Commander Speaker, they would have played turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, and we would have screwed them on the spot. Turn 2 Spreading Seas on that thing, and they would have been far behind. Far behind. Not even close. I'm just hoping, well, I was going to say, I was hoping not to see a Titan. Titan has arrived. And we're basically dead from here on out because the Titan will continuously shoot things. Yeah, or attack. So, like, we're now at a point where maybe we can catch up. So if we Spreading Seas, the Forest, bounce Inferno Titan. Because putting anything on the board doesn't matter. I mean, maybe it'll save me a bit of life because the Inferno turret, I believe it can shoot me. 1, 2, 3 target creatures or players. And we don't draw any more lands. Not a big deal. Like, from here, we're in bad shape. Inferno Titan has arrived.
Life totals are even, though.
Well, one of us has a lot more permanence on the battlefield. A lot more. Oh, now the life totals are not even.
Mm.
So now who do you think is winning?
Him. So obvious.
5? Hey, what happened? Did they play Siemens? Oh no, they had. Yeah, the Forest was not there. Okay, so let's try to bounce this Inferno Titan. Let's try to get back into this game. It's gonna. We need a lot of help here, though. Like, we need our opponent to not draw lands, which is really ambitious. I mean, if they're not drawing lands, then they're drawing gas. We have to chump block this Baloth, because if they attack for 4 and they hit us, we go down to 1, and then Chandra just finishes us off. Or not.
Is that a fruit fly?
Yeah, they're all flies. I got flies in my room, people.
Weird.
So yeah, we have to block this thing. What's our route to victory? I don't know if we have one. Continuously Spreading Seas things? Whoa, let's just try to get stuff on the board. That's another plan. Just get things here. There's like so many ways we can lose. They could activate Chandra, hit us for 2, just pass the turn. Huntmaster flips. Not much we can say or do. Sure, do that. I mean, all roads lead to a victory. We'll make the obvious block. And we will perish. Oh, we're going to just perish on upkeep. That's fine. And that's that trigger is very hard to miss because they're not allowed to. So, yeah, going to the sideboard. Now, I'm just going to be quickly. I'm pretty sure they play with Mana Dorks. I think they play with 6. But if they don't play with too many, I won't side in too many. Where is this stupid Ponza deck? I don't even know how to identify this deck. It's not a combo deck. Can be considered it's considered a control deck. Oh, and here's our opponent's list from like a month ago. Okay, so 6 Mana Dorks. It's good enough for me. We're gonna bring in at least 2 gut shots. So I want to be completely independent of these guys. Let's bring in 6 cards. We'll bring in 3 gut shots, and we'll bring in 3 negates. These things can counter the Stone Rains. They can counter. There's 2 Anger of the Gods coming in. maybe we play with 2 gut shots. No, I really like gut shot because when you get them hard. You get them hard. So negate can also counter. It could, in theory, counter Blood Moon, but that's not really what I'm going for. But it does have a lot of targets like Utopia Sprawl, the Chandra, Lightning Bolt. I don't know. Anger of the Gods. Okay, this is enough. Let's go with this. So by doing this, we are less dependent on our green mana. Sure, we'll keep this. It's not very interactive or anything like that, but it's not useless either. Like, it's a hand. There's the elf. Do we see the gut shot? We do not see the gut shot. We see an Aether Vial. It's terrible. Aether Vial is way too late. I'll show Mary Jerry.
Mary Jerry.
Mary Jerry? I'm not sure if I want to use that polluted delta, but we'll see. Three mana. Stone Rain me. Damn, this hurts. Normally we're not supposed to be too weak to this sort of stuff. Alright, in light of that, we're playing the Aether Vial. Let's play it with this thing. Actually, you know what? If I could take it back, I would have played the Polluted Delta so that we could fetch out an island. And I'm just going to play this Aether Vial right now. Let's get in for damage. Let's start racing. I'm not opposed to racing. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Togo. MTG to go. Opponent has 4 mana available. Could be Chandra. Could be Baloth. Baloth is not that big of a deal. We've got the Mararegery to tap it down. Chandra is a little bit of a deal. It's pretty good mana ramp. But do you know what? If they tap out for that Chandra and kill the Silvergill Adept, we can kill the Chandra with our Mutavault. So we've got that covered. Okay, there's the Blood Moon.
There it is.
There's the Polluted Delta that's going to be dead in our hands. Because I had a plan. Unfortunately, I didn't play around the Blood Moon as I was supposed to. The idea of these stupid fetch lands were to get islands out of our deck. Right. We're just going to do the best we can. Who knows? Maybe we can just race. But the problem is we're not going to be able to get the Mararegery triggers from here. Like, we need another island in order to turn this on.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, now we have less islands. But do you know what? They're not dealing damage to us, and they're at a critical life total, in my opinion.
Can Mutavault be used to attack?
Absolutely not. Mutavault is a mountain. See that? Mountain. Alright, let's attack for 5. We're not going to commit any more creatures to the board at the moment. Play around Anger of the Gods. That's fine. We'll just play a fetch land and go. Ooh, scary. Ooh, I'm so scared. Not.
I'm pretty terrified right now.
Could be a sign of Anger of the Gods. Sign of Baloth. Baloth, we go to 10. Okay. Gotcha. So what I don't like about that well, Anger of the Gods doesn't bother us anymore. Ooh, Water Trap Weaver, if we need it. If we attack with everything, Baloth blocks 1 creature, we vial in a lord, hit our opponent for 9, but not lethal. Sad. Sad reality we live in here today. So we're just going to attack with the Silvergill Adept. think that's what's going to happen. Baloth will trade. And we will play a land. Who knows what we'll do with it? Probably not much. I thought I would see Stone Rain burn me down so much. Look, they got the white borders too. White border, just some extra salt rubbing in our eyes. But we can deal with the salt. We can deal with salt. What is up with that? Okay, I'm not going to block. If they have Anger the Gods, let's say we block, this thing takes 2 damage. They play Anger the Gods, we are in trouble. Because this Lord of Atlantis will die and then the rest of our lords will die. And that's not where we want to be. That's not where we want to be.
Here it comes.
P and Kieran Nalar. Okay. And I think problem is, okay, so like if we tick the vial up to 3, that's a problem. I think I'm going to leave it on 2 for now. Like if I tick the vial up to 3, it just never comes back down, is my problem. All right, let's attack with everything. If they quadruple block one thing, I mean, you know, what can we do? We can't do anything about it. They're going to take 8. Yeah, they will. So
scared he is.
Oh, he's scared. That's for sure. They go to 2. We're also flooding out, mind you. We already played 2 lands. So here could... Well, if they play Anger the Gods pre-combat, that would be weird. Here's Chandra. Let's see, are they going to eat one of the creatures? What happens? Oh, they just play it. They just cast it, but didn't do anything.
Come on,
now Anger the Gods? Add mana. Anger. Anger the Gods, okay. I could see it all. Okay, now I think I am going to tick up the vial up to 3. Because whatever they play next turn... Well, I mean, if they play Baloth, that's not going to be good news for us, but... Or do I keep it on 2?
Sable Chandra.
Okay, I'm just going to try to win the game. We'll take it up to 3. It was a good call. Well, it only happened to be a good call because I drew garbage. Well, that's interesting. Botanical Sanctum did not come into play tapped. I thought it does. Or was that a glitch? Oh, sorry. No. It's what... Unless you control 2 or fewer lands. Yeah, is this a glitch? Is that a glitch? I feel like Sanctum's supposed to come into play tapped. There's Tireless Tracker. Do not care about this thing. There's the land. Do not care about that either. Just don't play a creature. There's the clue getting cracked, leaving only a forest up, which means they don't have a mountain up to play Lightning Bolt. And then, now we're going to blow them out with, like... They didn't see this coming. You're about to get... You just got trapped by the Water Trap Weaver. That's right. Welcome to Trap Town. Population U. And that's the manabase.com Get Dunked On instant replay. Probably would have had a much easier time winning this game if I just fetched out that island That probably would have made a big deal because we could have cast this thing like a long time ago and probably win when they had that Baloth out. So that was just a big mistake on my part. You know, that's the strategy. Let's fetch out the islands as soon as possible. I'm maximizing on as many fetch lands and less on like breeding pools so that we can make this a reality. So did we see anything that would push me into this last negate? Not really. I mean, the negate is good, but I don't want to take out too many other things. We'll submit this deck.
You should start a 1-800 hotline, $4.99 a minute for magic tips.
Well, it's called Twitter.
That's not $4.99 a minute.
The hand is slow. The hand's really slow, which is a problem. The hand has spreading seas as well. 4 lands. It's got a lot of lands, at the very least. Okay, I'll try to keep it. It's not great, though. It's definitely not great. Gut shot? No gut shot. Great sadness. Let's start with Mutavault, because it's so vulnerable. Sure. We'll pass. They want to Stone Rain this? Yeah, sure. Oh, do you know what? Oh man, I can't Harbinger this thing next turn. I didn't think about that. Kitchen Finks. Just a creature. Not a big deal. I would have loved to bounce that Arbor Elf. Well, okay, we're going to go with the plan this time.
I've never seen so few islands.
And we'll show them Water Trap Weaver? I guess so.
I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, that's right. They have no red mana. Might be by accident. That's interesting. That's aggressive, but okay. We'll take it. Still no red mana. Okay, let's say they play a green, Utopia Sprawl, the forest, play a land. They could get Inferno Titan out. Unless we bounce this thing. And you know what? I think I vote on bouncing this Arbor Elf. Or we Water Trap Weaver it. That's fine too. Okay, let's do that. We got these Water Trap Weavers. Let's start using them.
Brutal.
Merfolk Branchwalker. I think our opponent looks really mana screwed, so let's just Harbinger the Arbor Elf back to our opponent's hand. And then we can just attack for 6. Why not? They look so screwed on mana. And we're starting to hit for some like very serious damage here.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Next turn, we can play Merfolk and Merfolk Branchwalker, tap down Kitchen Finks, attack for a ton of damage. So let's start with... They're at 14. We also empty our hand, which is not convenient. Well, we got the Mutavaults, though, so if they ever play Anger of the Gods, it's not that big of a deal. This is a ton of damage, by the way.
I like it.
I like it, too. How does it feel to be mana screwed yourself? Oh, they resigned. So I think the death of tropical merfolk is a little exaggerated, even against the Blood Moon decks. So, as usual, we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu and his brother playing Merfolk in Modern. Tropical Merfolk in Modern.